Alright folks, today I'm going to try something new. Got my camera set up here. Hopefully it's a little bit of a distance, but hopefully enough where y'all will be able to see a little bit of what I'm doing. But today I've finally got all my equipment for marking my queens. So I'm going to try my hand at that. It's the first time I've ever done it, but I'm going to try to get it all on film so y'all can see what I do, and I'll try to walk you through what I'm doing, and we'll just get it started. I should have mentioned the tools for the job that we're going to use today, but we'll go through that now. The color I'm using is yellow. Yellow is for this year. These are my little marking pens here that I got from Man Lake. I could probably actually mark these queens for next year's color. I don't know what that color is supposed to be yet, but I'm going to go ahead and mark them this year just because I did hatch them out 2 or 3 months ago from this year. This is my plunger, and the way this works is we'll catch the queen, we'll shake her in this little tube, put the plunger in, and run her up to the top so her thorax is against that mesh, and I'll be able to take my pen and just put a little dot on her back right through the mesh. And of course, the last and favorite tool of all is the queen catcher itself. So I'll get into my hives. I'm going to do a general inspection going through the nest anyway, and catch the queen, and when I catch them, I'll get them on here and mark them for you. Tell you guys what, that is the hardest I've ever had to work to find my queen. I went through the entire hive, one direction, didn't get her, figured she'd moved, I went through the other direction, didn't get her on the combs, eventually found her clustered in the back of the hive. So you can, she's in there, she's a big golden girl, she's very pretty. And this was a queen that I hatched out just by making a split earlier this year, so she's not marked yet, she's not clipped. I'm not going to clip her, but I am going to mark her right now, so bear with me. Well, there you have it. Who knows? I might have killed her. I should have tested my paint pen there to figure out how it worked before I used it, because when I finally did hit it on her, it put paint out like a champ. So now she's got pretty much her entire thorax and abdomen and wings are all painted, as well as the inside of my queen marking tube. So I'm going to get her back in the hive as quick as I can, let the bees groom her and get all that paint off, and hopefully a little bit will actually dry on her abdomen. So, I don't know. I don't know that I recommend doing it my way. Alright, so I just want to give you guys a little summary of how things went today. I know I said it didn't go as well as I would like. What ended up happening was the queens that I have, they're very good at hiding, which is partially why I wanted to mark the ones that I have. But also I just want to try my hand at it because I do intend to raise queens in the future, so I figured I need to get some practice and learn how to do it. What ended up happening was this hive is very populated, at least, and I started at the back and went from the back all the way through to the front, and every time I would pick up a bar, all the bees would move down and beard off the bottom, and then a lot of them would fall back into the hive. And so I'm guessing that's probably what happened with the queen as I was going through the first time. So I went from the back, I went, starting back here, and I worked all the way to the front, one bar at a time, got up there, smoked all the bees out of the entrance, didn't have a queen. I could see they were kind of, running towards the back. So I worked back through, and as I worked back through, the bars weren't nearly as loaded with bees, and they were still running towards the back. So I worked all the way back through, didn't find the queen, finally got to the back, and there was a lot of bees hanging out, clustered, back here in the back end of the hive, and a lot of them were fanning, so I was pretty sure she was back there amongst all that activity. So I opened up, I took all the rest of the empty top bars out, so I had a whole open body to work with, and I started taking, bees a handful at a time, and would just shake them onto the top of the top bars where I'd closed up the front of the hive, and then watch the bees scatter. And still hadn't found the queen, and what actually ended up happening was, let me take you around back here and see if I can show you now that the bees have dispersed. By the way, it's about 3 hours since I've been out here, so I want to let the bees calm down and cool off before I did any more filming. If you look right in there, can't hardly see it, but the screen where I nailed it to the bottom has come loose, and so there's actually a gap there where the bees can get in and out, and they use that as an alternative entrance. What had happened when I was marking my queen was all the bees had run back here, and she had actually crawled out through that gap, and she was in the middle of a cluster of bees. They were hanging down, they were hanging down here, bearded up, almost like a swarm in a tree. And I'm not a huge swarm, obviously the size of a baseball or something, but You know, when I saw them balled up like that, I was pretty certain, so I actually just reached my hand down there and I got that whole ball in my hand, and on the first shot, there was my queen. And, you know, I was almost starting to get myself down because, you know, I went through twice and I hadn't found her. I was really starting to second guess my queen identifying skills, but I mean, just as soon as I pulled up that handful, I saw her. She'd got a bright golden abdomen, and even amongst all those bees, I saw her big old golden butt moving around in there. So I shook them out on top of the top bars, and I had my queen catcher there, so I snatched her up in that, and actually dumped her into my marking tube. I got a bee visiting me here. Dumped her into my marking tube, and was trying to get the plunger stuck in, and she actually got out, and she jumped back on the top bars, and I had to catch her again and get her in there again. So it was actually the second time when I brought her over and showed her to you on the camera that I had her in there finally. So that took me probably close to 2 hours to go through that hive, find that queen and mark her. It took a long time, a lot longer than I wanted it to. And the main reason being just because they don't have a whole lot of combs pulled. I mean, they have, you know, 15, I guess, or so, 15 or 20, but the real thing was just that the numbers are so high. There's so many bees in there. But I finally got that one done. I didn't get in and mark this one because it's about the exact same size as that one, so I was thinking, you know, another 2 hours worth of queen hunting. I'm not doing it today. And I didn't even open that one up, but I know it's doing well because it's the exact same size, age, and everything as this one here. I know it's doing good. The numbers look good. I popped that one open just for fun. It's got 6 or 7 full bars in the back of it of honey. They haven't capped it yet, but it's there, so give them a couple more weeks. Maybe they'll start capping it off and I'll start pulling it out, because that's the 3-foot box. They're running out of space. And I did pop open that one too. I didn't see the queen, but I did see eggs and larvae and brood, so they're getting by, and they're pulling a little bit of new comb. You know, numbers are still low, but they're, considering what they've been through, you know, with the first failed queen, and then I guess the second queen took, but then the dogs knocked the hive over, and just all the reign of terror that those poor bees have dealt with. You know, it's good that they're finally settled. So, and then my other hive it's over there behind the corn. You can't see it. That's that 8-frame laying, but I guess you can kind of see the copper roof right thereabouts. But I still don't know what to do with that thing. I want to do something with it, get some more value out of it, but you know, I got to get an extractor for now to get all that honey off of it, because I can't keep moving 4 boxes of honey every time I want to get in and look at the brood nest. So anyway, the point of this video is to summarize my queen marking skills. They're not good, but by God, it's done. I've got a queen in that hive that is entirely painted yellow. She should be fine. I don't think it's all non-toxic paint, but we'll just see. I'll look back through here in a couple weeks and see if I see her bright yellow queen running around, or if all the paint got cleaned off by working before it dried. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions.